What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers take on the Golden State Warriors today, and you got to get the win, right? You cannot fumble this, especially coming off of the monster game that you just came off with against the Boston Celtics. Really were in control, won that game start to finish, and just it was just a really dominant performance. But also, you are currently the 5 seed, and you want to keep it. You're tied with the Clippers. You lost your first game to the Clippers, so you need to keep pace. You need to stay ahead. The Dallas Mavericks, you're currently a game and a half ahead. You're still only 2 games out from being a play-in team, right? So you need to keep pace. You need to keep the distance, because if you start fumbling some games here that you should be winning, all of a sudden things could get really bad really fast, right? And the Warriors have been abysmal this season. They've really struggled, especially as of late. They're sitting there fighting and arguing with each other, like literally in the middle of games and stuff. They're 22-22 on the season, coming off of a win. And we already beat them once, but you can lose to them, right? I don't want to see that happen. We need to make sure we close this month very strong. You got the Warriors, and then you got the Hornets, which again should be another game. They just lost Brandon Miller for the season. You hate to see it. You never want to see that, but that does benefit the Lakers, right? And then you got the Sixers and the Wizards. So Lakers could easily win every game the rest of the way, right? Warriors are a very winnable game. Hornets, Wizards, obviously. Sixers, they can be kind of hot and cold, but again, that's a team that I do believe you should win. They are on the road for all 4 of these games, but getting Jarred Vanderbilt back, and to me, that's huge, right? Now, a couple things. One, he might not even play, so keep that in mind. Both LeBron and JJ Redick have said that he's available, and he is. He's off the injury report. He's not on the injury report for today's game, but they said, yes, he'll be available, but there's no guarantee that he'll actually play. Right? Lakers are going to do and be patient with him. Lakers are going to take their time getting him back in. I could see him getting some minutes out there on the court, but even if he does, it's probably not going to be anything significant. Probably looking at, 7 to 12 minutes, somewhere in that range. I think it's going to be very light, because they're going to, again, you don't want to get him hurt or something like that, because he's a guy that only knows 100%, right? He's a guy that only knows how to go 1,000 miles an hour, right? So you want to make sure that you're, doing right by him and having him be able to put his effort and energy in and be able to go 100% when he's in the game, but you need to kind of save him from himself in a lot of ways. But you got to keep in mind, the dude just came off of 2 foot surgeries on both feet, right? So I don't imagine he's done like crazy cardio. I don't imagine he's done all these like crazy workouts and stuff, and he's worked on his shot, and he's going to be this like, reformed 2-way player, right? Like I don't be surprised if he is a little rough, if he looks a little scrubby, for a little while, right? He's going to have to really get back into the swing of things, really get back into the game. And again, the Lakers are probably going to be very patient with him. But like I've said, to me, I don't care right now. I care as we get closer, an inch closer to the playoffs, right? Obviously, we'll see what happens if the Lakers end up trading him. There's still talks about the Lakers kind of want to evaluate him and see how he looks, but still very likely might look to trade him to kind of get a more reliable piece. We'll see if that's the case. We'll see if that ends up happening. But if they do keep him, right, which myself and many others want to me, it's always just about like, what do you get in return, right? If you're getting the right piece, then yeah, I don't think anyone's untradeable. But Jarred Vanderbilt is a guy that can have an absolute huge impact for this Lakers team, right? Jarred Vanderbilt's a guy that can really change the landscape for the Lakers, right? So if the Lakers can get that version of Jarred Vanderbilt back, getting into the playoffs, that's huge, right? So between now and, like May, I'm fine with the Lakers being patient with him, slowly, the rest of this month, up to the middle of next month, he's only playing like 8 to 10 minutes. And, middle of February to the end of February, maybe he's playing, 15 minutes. And then, February or the March and middle of March, he's playing 20 minutes. And, and then you slowly, as you start getting into April and stuff, now all of a sudden he's playing, 25 minutes a game or whatever, right? Like, I'm okay with that. As long as, like I said, he becomes the Jarred Vanderbilt we know, or at least a version of that come playoff time, that's going to be huge for the Lakers. But it's baby steps with him, right? We know what he can do when he is healthy. Talking about one of, if not the best perimeter defender and on-ball defender in the league. I mean, he's so disruptive, so impactful. A guy that affects both sides of the basketball for the Lakers because he just generates more offensive opportunities. Obviously, he's not the offensive weapon in the traditional sense. Now, he's not a guy that's going to be knocking down a bunch of threes and stuff. But JJ Redick seems very confident that he can get him into an offensive rhythm, into an offensive flow, and believes that he can get him to be a competent offensive weapon for them. Look, Darvin Ham was able to figure out how to get him to be an 8 to 12 point a game a night guy. I think JJ Redick and this coaching staff will be able to do the same thing. Set him as the screen man, the slip guy, right? The dunker spot, crashing from corners, getting rebounds, putbacks, all that stuff, right? I do think he'll be a very impactful piece for the Lakers. And then just from the non-traditional sense, just getting rebounds, both defensively and offensively, just gives the Lakers more opportunities, more points. Jarred Vanderbilt just getting stops, right? Just basic stops that we might have not have gotten otherwise, right? Leads to more offensive opportunity. Him getting turnovers, both live ball turnovers, get out into transition, to just regular turnovers that lead to a disruptiveness that lead to more offensive opportunities, and even like the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score, the dirty work, the hustle plays, diving for loose balls, right? Being disruptive, and that leads to a turnover that maybe he doesn't get credit for, but he was the disruptor that caused that turnover, right? Like those type of things really can have an impact on your basketball team, right? We've seen like what Dorian Finney-Smith can have. The dude was a plus 20 and didn't even give us a bucket. Why? Because he was so good at everything else. Right? Like if you just like looked at the box score in that Boston game, you're like, wow, like Dorian Finney-Smith didn't give you anything. But if you actually watch that game, that dude gave us everything. And that's Jarred Vanderbilt. It's what Jarred Vanderbilt brings, right? Obviously, we all love if Jarred Vanderbilt could be a 20-point-a-game guy, but not everyone's going to be that. But he's good enough defensively to offset some of the offense. And I do believe under JJ Redick and the type of offensive schemes and stuff that he can run, I don't think he'll be as much of a liability as he was. Like, because, you look at like against Denver, he got played off the court at times because he was just such an offensive liability. But you also had Darvin Ham, who wasn't great at adjustments and play schemes, right? Particularly on the offensive side. It was just kind of like give LeBron and AD the ball and hope that they figure it out, right? Like where JJ, I do think will actually run some actions, run some sets, and make him comparable piece. But, I'm excited to see him back on the court, right? Even if he's just playing in garbage time, right? Or something, right? It'd be great to kind of see him out there. But just keep in mind the circumstance and situation, right? If you're expecting him to be this like superstar right out the gate, you're going to be disappointed, right? So I want people to understand that, like, hey, we got to be patient with him, because I can already hear like, oh, this dude's a bomb, get rid of him, like, all that. Like, let's keep in mind the circumstances. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Are you excited Vando's back? Are you looking forward to seeing him on the basketball court tonight? Hopefully he does play some minutes. You got to give him something, right? Like, even if it's like 5 minutes or something, just give him something. Let's just see what he can do. Let him get some reps in, things like that. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.